Thanks, Nikki. More new details from Metro Police today, who tell us the shooter, Solomon Henderson, had an online diary tracking his thoughts as he planned the attack. News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams has been combing through a lengthy memo the 17-year-old left behind. Obviously, we don't want to glorify the shooter or the violence, but sharing what Phil discovered could help us all better understand why this happened. He learned hate may have led to this senseless tragedy with the so-called manifesto filled with vile words about African Americans and Jews.
We have a black kid expressing white supremacist ideas. Have you ever seen that before?
This wouldn't be the first time that a person of color shackled themselves to a white supremacist movement. In my experience as a researcher, this is one of the most extreme cases I've ever seen of it.
Jerry Tolt's job is to track hate and extremism, a skill set that in the hours after the Antioch High School shooting came into play, thanks to a 51-page manifesto left behind by shooter Solomon Henderson, seen here wearing a T-shirt for a neo-Nazi band. The manifesto, with the title "We Cannot Show on Television," declared the West has fallen. Billions must die. Accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. Words that Holt says represent the worst of the world of hate.
These are communities that encourage not only mass murder and genocidal fantasies, but also destruction of things like critical infrastructure.
So they're talking about bringing about the collapse of society and then creating their own utopia?
Essentially, yeah. They do not believe that democratic government will ever get them the kind of ethnic superiority or ethnic dominance that they want.
Hitler was right! Included in the manifesto are some anti-Semitic claims made by the Goyim Defense League, the group we confronted last summer when they created a scene on the streets of Nashville. Holt cautions against reading too much into that, at least for now.
One way or another, this shooter came across this flyer and recognized it as something he thought might be great to include in his manifesto.
Then there are the manifesto's claims that Henderson was radicalized by conservative commentator Candace Owens, which Holt says appears to have been lifted from a notorious mass murderer's own manifesto.
The line about Candace Owens radicalizing him is very lightly modified copy and paste from the Christchurch manifesto.
Holt says all this suggests that Henderson may have ventured into some of the darkest parts of the internet where hate and murder are glorified, only to have lost his way out.
That's Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams reporting. Another question still unanswered tonight: who, if anyone, knew about Henderson's plan? The manifesto does mention someone helping him write part of it. And Jared Holt, you just saw there, says extremists in online communities identified him as the shooter before police did. Again, as we've mentioned, the teen shooter left behind a lengthy diary, giving even more insight into his thoughts leading up to the shooting. Now News Channel 5 investigates reporter Levi Ismail went through page by page and tells us what he found.
It's the first 4 words of a more than 288-page diary, but it sets the tone for everything you read after. Those words, quote, "I'm burning with hate." From October of last year to the day he carried out his attack at Antioch High School, 17-year-old Solomon Henderson filled these pages with graphic images, Nazi symbols, and plans to carry out an attack. Henderson obsessed over mass killers around the world and declared that he, too, intends on doing something to kill at least 10 people. But how does this young man go from active high school student to active shooter?
If we just look at it broadly, a lot of people that have carried out these sort of acts have felt othered.
Lauren Ruth Martin is a licensed therapist with novel counseling in Franklin.
We could go, scientifically for a minute. Our brains aren't fully developed when we're 17. Our brains are actually on fire. And so not a lot makes sense, and decision-making is altered.
Martin says this is not about trying to humanize someone responsible for committing a horrible crime, but understanding how we got here. Henderson, by his own admission, fought with his parents and even wrote in his diary about killing them at one point. Struggles with his self-image and resentment over minorities were only amplified once Henderson found community and a sense of belonging with white supremacy groups online.
It's a perfect storm. In online communities, you can also access those in a private way. You get to be the person that you want to project out there online without anybody truly questioning it.
Henderson often wrote things like, quote, "I wish I was white. Self-hating N-word award goes to," with a picture of his eyes.
If we just focus on that idea of being uncomfortable in your own skin, can you imagine how helpless that must feel? Because you literally can't change that.
Another photo appeared to show Henderson in whiteface, but all while this self-hatred is happening, Henderson continues to plan out his attack. He details instructions on how to make bombs and even bought supplies. He then wrote that it made sense to attack during lunch and specifically made note of days when he expected there to be more people of color around. Just days before the shooting, Henderson began to spiral. He wrote, "I'm slipping," and talked about being nervous, scared, and excited at the same time. Henderson posted a final selfie with the caption, "4 hours to go."
I think it's scary for us to acknowledge that given the perfect storm of circumstances, we don't know what we would resort to if we were in that much pain and we had access to such things like guns.
Martin says while there are many nuances on how Henderson became radicalized enough to kill, this is a man who found connection in hate, and that should never be ignored.
We're not humanizing him, but what we're using is this information to better inform how we can see people, how we can help people, how we can make our communities safer.
With News Channel 5 Investigates, I'm Levi Ismail.
Thanks, Levi. So sad and disturbing. Levi also found that at one point, Henderson wrote that police were at his home, found a gun, one he says his dad took the blame for. It's not clear when or if this happened, but we do know Metro Nashville police are investigating the writings and others to learn what they can about the shooter and his motivations. Now, also tonight, we have learned the shooter did live stream the attack using the site Kick. Platform leaders confirmed this and say violence has no place on their platform. They add Henderson's account was banned, the video removed, and they are actively working with law enforcement to help them with their investigation.